Daniel Riccardo has left Formula One, which means Formula One is now going to be boring and you're just going to fall asleep. But what was his best race win? In my opinion, in last place is the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix victory. So I think this win was it was an alright win to have, and it came at a good time. It was his second win in a row and his third in the last 6 races of the year. But it was basically just an assist. I mean, he got past Sebastian Vettel, who out-qualified him early on, but he only got past after the two Mercedes came together on the second lap of the Grand Prix, which effectively gave him the win from there. Then I've got Malaysia 2016, a pretty good race win, but I think it was once again an assist. Rosberg was took out the first corner after a collision and came back to finish in third, and Lewis Hamilton DNF from the lead of the race. However, that's the reasons you would put it below his Spa win, but in my opinion, it's ahead because he had to fight Max Verstappen for it after an early wheel-to-wheel battle. That was actually quite thrilling and definitely a really good battle to have in Malaysia. Max Verstappen, however, missed out by a second, and Daniel Ricciardo held on to win for the only time of the year. Again, I think Daniel Ricciardo had a good performance. It was still a sign in 2016 that Daniel Ricciardo had that edge over Max Verstappen. Then we have the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, another assist, but this one's an even better assist. Every single Daniel Ricciardo wins pretty much an assist, bar Monaco and probably China in 2018. But this race win was a very good race win. He came from 10th on the grid, but the reason why he won the race is because Hamilton and Vettel collided, and it took both of them effectively out fighting for the win. With Valtteri Bottas getting took out on the opening lap with a collision with Raikkonen and ultimately would finish second after Pip and Stroll at the line, it still made Daniel Ricciardo's win a very good one, but after all, it had to have a Lewis Hamilton-Sebastian Vettel collision for him to win the race. Then the next one is 2014 Canada. Like I say, every race win he has is an assist, but he still has to drive brilliantly to win a Grand Prix. This time round, the two Mercedes fought on the opening lap of the Grand Prix, but this didn't let Ricciardo through. What did let him through is Mercedes having reliability issues. Lewis Hamilton went off the road and Nico Rosberg retook the lead. With 3 laps to go, Sebastian Vettel looked as if he would be the one to capitalise and win the race for Red Bull, but instead, with pit stops and strategy, Ricciardo managed to jump Sebastian Vettel, and with 3 laps to go, took the lead from Nico Rosberg. With Lewis Hamilton out of the race, that managed to mean that he could hold on for the win in a race that was ended after a last lap clash involving Sergio Perez and Felipe Massa, but it was still a brilliant first win. Then we have 2021 Italy, his last race win, and a very good one. This one was perfect. He qualified second after a Valtteri Bottas penalty and managed to storm into the lead early on and was pulling clear of a Red Bull and a Mercedes. When Max and Lewis inevitably took each other out after the pit stops, Ricciardo had to fend off Lando Norris for the win. There's one reason though this isn't higher up on the list, as it was a brilliant race win that was earned on merit, of course helped by the clash, but it was helped because Lando Norris had to slow down and not overtake him. Then we have the 2014 Hungarian Grand Prix. A brilliant race win, but it's not a race I remember much of. Sebastian Vettel again out-qualified Daniel Ricciardo, but like every time Daniel Ricciardo won in 2014, Vettel spun out whilst ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, and with strategy not helping Vettel's cause, it was Daniel Ricciardo who had 20 laps fresher tyre. After Hamilton had started in the pit lane after crashing out early on too of the Grand Prix, Fernando Alonso was leading the Grand Prix and nearly won for Ferrari. Let me know in the comments section if you'd rather have Fernando Alonso have that race win. Personally, yes, because I would love to see him win one last race for Ferrari. Then we have 2018 China. This is a brilliant win for Daniel Ricciardo. He was actually behind Max Verstappen on the grid, and the Red Bulls were running 5th and 6th when a late safety car after the two Toro Russos of Pierre Gasly and Brendan Hartley clashed, let Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen have an option to win. Whilst fighting Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen slid wide and it let Daniel Ricciardo through, who then prompt off moves past Sebastian Vettel and managed to do an audacious overtake past Valtteri Bottas to win the Chinese Grand Prix. Whereas Max Verstappen, you ask? Well, he was fighting Sebastian Vettel and made a collision with him, which ultimately didn't help Vettel's cause for the World Championship. But obviously in first place is the 2018 Monaco Grand Prix. a brilliant race win for Daniel Ricciardo from pole position. So you'll think, well, what was so special? Well, Verstappen hit the wall in free practice. He started last, finished ninth, but this man had an engine issue, and it could nearly have been a ninth DNF of the season. But Daniel Ricciardo, this is a world championship performance, and he managed to beat Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton, the two best drivers of the decade, apart from maybe Fernando Alonso, for the win. It was an explosive win, and people thought Daniel Ricciardo could actually win the 2018 World Championship. Well, unfortunately, they were wrong. So that's all for today's video, and let me know down in the comment section, what do you think was Daniel Ricciardo's best race win? And I'll see you next time on F1 Hub.